So, Space Investor, what I want to do to get into Redwire, um, we've had quite a few guests on, and it's such a vast business to understand. What I want to do, I am pretty big in the VTOL space, so we have some guys here that are completely new to the space side of investing. Would you be able to start from the basics, what Redwire is about, and then we can get into some of the good stuff?
Sure. By the way, is it better on the audio? I think I saw a comment saying that my mic sucked. I never do,
Uh,
I never do YouTube, so I literally hooked up some old mic to my
you
computer.
should be all good on my side. Chat,
Yeah.
do let me know.
Get
Um,
on my side. Get on my side.
Okay. Anyway, I just switched mics, so hopefully that's a bit better. So you wanted to, okay. So for me to explain what Redwire is, basically Redwire is a pick and shovel of space. It helps with providing parts for anything from the ISS, the International Space Station, which is our big like hotel that we have turning around Earth, where the astronaut go play. Basically, they were part of building the biggest solar array over there. It's called iRosa. They have a unique technology where they roll their solar panel into kind of a tube. It makes it easier to launch, but it also allows for huge deployment of massive solar panel. So they're providing parts for the ISS, but also working with upcoming commercial space station on not only microgravity research hub, but also on pieces, software, flight softwares, and all of that. So they're working on software as well. They have many spacecraft. They have spacecraft that work into Leo, MEO, GEO, like every single orbit you can imagine. They have spacecraft working in that orbit. Recently, they did the acquisition of Edge Autonomy, which is a huge unmanned aerial kind of drones. It's not the same drone you can imagine from a small DJI, drone that you have at home and that you're playing with. It's military, basically use case. It's huge ass drones that can do surveillance, Earth observation that are used in military operations. This is actually very, very exciting because Edge Autonomy works on two continents. They're based in Belgium, I believe, and so they're really, really linked up with Europe, which just got a proposal to up their defense budget to I think $2 trillion. So not only are they established with offices in Europe, but they also have many missions that they worked with the European Space Agency on. They've been working with that agency on building a Mars spacecraft as well. So they really, really have all the tools in their toolkits to basically provide software, hardware, mission control, and even mission planning for all sorts of mission. They also have a mission to build landing pads, roads on the moon, that they can also extrapolate and use for Mars as well. They're big into VLEO, which is very low Earth orbit. So it's just under Leo. It's
Yes.
about 300 to 400 kilometer ups. It's really, really low, and they're basically working on once again on two continents with their VLEO initiatives. They have SaberSat, which is based here in the U.S. It's a project that they're building with DARPA, and they have Phantom, which is European built, based in their Belgium office. And once again, Phantom, which is in Europe, is in partnership with the European Space Agency. So basically, it provides them the stack from Earth, which is air, with their edge autonomy. Their VLEO is then going to bridge the gap between the air and LEO. So you're going to have air, VLEO, LEO, MEO, GEO. So everywhere from Earth to geosynchronous orbit, there's going to be a link of spacecraft, drones, VLEO, which they call air breathing machines. They're all going to be linked up autonomous and be able to coordinate when it comes to defense, maybe communication, and all sorts of use cases that you can believe. So they're really, really building a huge value chain on many orbits in space. One thing I didn't touch on yet is their space-grown crystals. So they're also one of the first mover when it comes to microgravity research. We've all heard of Varda. Space Rocket Lab was launching capsule for Varda, which basically tried to create um, biological matter in orbit. They launch a small spacecraft around Earth, turns around Earth a couple of times in microgravity, and then it comes back. And then from that, they can look at how the material evolved. If it's a biological matter, or it can create some crystals. Basically, see it as, on Earth when there's snow, it's two-dimensional. It's flat. It's grown in 2D like a petri dish. But
Yep.
in space, it grows like a golf ball, basically in 3D. And so there's a significant potential in growing um, um, drugs or biological compound in space, and then bringing back those crystals back on Earth. And by analyzing them, they realize that it adds some property to already existing drug. And so they've signed partnership already with Eli Lilly and Bristol Myers to launch compound in space and then look at what happens when they bring those crystals back to Earth. And then that brings a whole bunch of opportunity. Obviously, this is a really long tail event, meaning there's low probability of happening, but if it does happen, it's big. Because imagine what would happen if, let's say, they launch a drug from Eli Lilly in space, they bring it back, they realize that, whoa, okay, it's 10 times more effective, 10 times safer, and then they grab a royalty on that, and suddenly they become a partner with one of the biggest big pharma on Earth. This is a possibility now with Redwire. Obviously, this is a very, very long term investment horizon, because we all know how long it is to develop drugs here on Earth. There's a lot of regulations surrounding that, but it's something on what they're working on right now, and that's immediately accretive as well, meaning they make money with that. It's not an R&D project. These big pharma company pay Redwire to send those into orbit, into something that looks like a small microwave, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
into the International Space Station. Then they open the door, they fit in some capsules, and then a couple of months or a couple of weeks later, the astronaut bring it back down to Earth, and it can be analyzed. And so that's
Yeah.
a massive market that could be addressed. Not only that, right now they only work on the ISS for that what they call pillbox. But we were talking about Virgin Galactic earlier. They're retrofitting part of their spaceship, their new spaceship of Virgin Galactic, to be able to take some experiment as well. So now that they're showing they can be working with some commercial space company on that, we've heard recently SpaceX say how Starship is going to be able to handle some microgravity research. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a contract to retrofit or work on a way to make those experiments aboard the spaceship, the Starship, because basically as of right now, there's not a lot of company that have that expertise. So they're quickly growing expertise into a very unique yet high potential segment as well.